we sent, last month, we sent 14,000 people, $6 million.
Crazy.
AI will be a job. You being in an AI game will be a job. You have to play prostitute. You'll be a great prostitute, by the way, okay? But the rest of you guys, you punks out there on the internet, want to troll on me? God bless you.
They're just projecting their own fears and insecurities. And
Every hater I've ever met was a quitter. If this country fails, it will be because of too few people didn't stand up and say, stop the madness.
So hey guys, welcome back to the Grant Mitt podcast, episode number 73. We got a legend on today, the man, the myth, the legend, Grant Cardone. I appreciate
Thank you.
you coming on, man.
Double Grants.
Double Grant. Has that ever happened before?
Never, dude. I've never had a Grant interview me.
So is it now a new rule?
Do you know what the name Grant means?
It's a gift, right?
I think it means guarantor.
Okay, so maybe
The name Grant is something that does what it says it's going to do.
yeah.
And I do pride myself on doing what I say I'm going to do. Even if it's just announcing a goal that I have publicly.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons I like talk about what I'm going to do publicly before I do it.
Yeah.
Because it kind of holds me accountable to like, okay, now I have to do it because I told the public I was going to do it.
The pressure's on.
Yeah.
You have no
So if
choice.
I ever tell you publicly that I'm going to hit you in the face,
You're going to do it.
just get ready.
Just get ready. It's coming.
Get ready, bro. I'm going to do my best.
I love it. I love it, man. So you're from Lake Charles. I mentioned my dad's from Lake Charles too.
Yeah.
You like crawfish?
Oh, love crawfish, dude.
I've been craving it.
Oh,
and,
my
and,
God.
and the season's been delayed. Do they have crawfish
just for
out
this
here?
interview, now that you brought it up, you got to send me 50 pounds.
Have you ever had BB's in Houston?
Yeah, sure.
It's my favorite, man.
Yeah.
It's
Well, you got to go back to Lake Charles and get the real
Oh my
ones.
gosh, I know. Or
They're probably grabbing that Korean crawfish.
probably so. It's big out there.
They import a lot of that frozen stuff and just that's not good stuff. So
Yeah, but it's nothing like.
when's crawfish season? Are we in it?
We're in it. We're in it. But sometimes it'll start in December. But I hear the colder it is, the more crawfish. It comes out early. But it was February.
Yeah, good, man. You're making me hungry right now.
And I know. I visited Houston because I live in Austin, and I was ready because Houston is actually because ever since Katrina, everyone moved to Houston from Louisiana, and so they get really good food. Yeah, no crawfish. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to go back and get it. Yeah. But anyway, so I want to talk about a bunch of different topics because it's crazy because man, I can remember back in 2014. So I was playing junior college football in Long Beach, California, from Houston, and I get a sales job. I'm playing college football. I redshirt the first year. And I'm literally selling DirecTV in retail stores. And I'm driving to all these Walmarts and Best Buys, and I'm listening to Grant Cardone. And
what were you listening to? Do you know?
YouTube.
Okay.
YouTube.
All right.
So it's crazy to think about. 2014 seems like it's like 3 years ago. COVID feels like a blur. But
I'm literally doing the math. I'm like, how many years ago? It's 10 years.
I mean, someone was like, last year, 2019, it seems like that. But it's crazy to see how you develop, and I think you've impacted. So putting yourself out there in the public eye, it takes a lot of courage.
Yeah.
You get shots from people that are haters, that are weirdos, like you can't meet. But I want, just before we go on, because I want to ask you a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
I just appreciate you because you're making a big impact.
Man. Thanks, man. You don't hear that enough. You see all the noise and the la and the people shooting arrows and the hate and the envy and the whatever the stuff is, right?
And it's part of it, and you got to be able to take it. But I mean, man, 2014, I was 18 years old. Now I'm 28. Man, companies done tens of millions in revenue. Just gave a TED talk and all this crazy stuff.
Wow, good for you.
I don't know if I would have been able to do that if it weren't for Grant Cardone.
Oh,
seriously,
thanks, man. Thanks. And
I really appreciate that.
That's why I do it. So every once in a while to hear that is worth everything.
Absolutely. But so a couple things. Okay, so one, when you meet people all the time, you have people commenting and everything. What is an indicator of success that you notice consistently in people?
One, you mean a characteristic that
sure.
Let me see. What's one? I mean, there's a lot of them, bro. But like definitely persistence.
Yeah.
Like that's one of my superpowers, right? I mean, there's a lot of them. Like the moment I say persistence, I'm like, okay, but you also have to transform. You have to figure out how to convert negative energy that you brought up earlier. How do I convert that energy? Not let it stop me and not let it convert me, right? Because it's very easy for negativity to convert a person. But really the thing to do, or you just try to block it and hold it off. But really the thing to do is to convert it back to something positive. Like, how can I use it? Like I was walking in here, I said, I need a couple more minutes. I'm converting negative energy, like massive amounts of like stuff you would never plan for. It would never be on a budget. You would never postulate it, think about it. When you're making a goal or a dream, you're like, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, right? You don't think about there's so many variations that come along that are not even in the alphabet that you would never say, oh, by the way, when I become successful, I'm going to have to handle these people that don't want me to be successful. So it's a weird thing, bro. So persistence, definitely. Converting negative energy, absolutely. 3, staying focused. There's a million things that get offered to me now. Like a bit exaggerated. It's probably not a million. This morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, I get a guy, bro, I got this deal. I'm like, no, I don't want that. I want nothing to do with that.
It's not with your energy.
And then he says, and I'm working on this other deal. And I'm like, not that. So you got to say no to stuff, right? You got to say no so that you can get to what you want to do. And I think successful people know how to do that. They know how to I can't do that, but I can do this.
What do you think? Because I think you have seen the most growth in your brand and your business, especially with Cardone Capital and all those different things that you're doing. What do you think has elevated Grant Cardone, your brand, your business the most in the last 10 years? Like what really turned it on the rocket?
Success.
Just compounding.
Another one.
Yeah.
You just throw DJ Khaled in there.
Yeah.
Look, doing something one time's okay, great. I mean, that's another characteristic of successful people. They're not successful once. Oh yeah, he did this back when he was in high school. All right. Yeah, you were a quarterback and you guys won the national championship or whatever. Like, what have you done lately?
10 years, 20 years later, yeah.
So now, but these people, the ones that win, bro, they win over and over. It's consistently winning. They figure out a formula. And one of the things I pride myself on is that I don't get stuck and I have been stuck, but I don't stay stuck in a genre or in an industry. So Cardone Capital, when we did Cardone Capital, and raised $6 million on the first raise, no big deal. It shocked me. I was like, God dang, $6 million. That was $1.3 billion ago. I did not know when I did Cardone Capital. I said, this would be cool if we could raise money and buy more real estate. I did not know the coolest thing. The coolest thing, and the thing that probably helped me a lot, was when I distributed money to people.
Yeah.
I never considered this angle. Because you're selling direct TV, bro. You're going door to door. You're trying to get some money. Yeah. There's only one reason to do a door to door job. You want money.
Right.
So that's what I'd spent most of my life just figuring out, how do I get money to take care of to get out of a bad situation and into a better one. And then once I got into a better one, how do I get more money to stay in this better and maybe even improve my situation? So I had spent 20 or 30 years just trying to figure out how to get it. And then when we started sending people money back, bro, it was
crazy feeling.
It was crazy. Okay. Last month, we sent 14,000 people $6 million.
Crazy.
Not each, but a total of $6.6 million.
You'll get there.
I will get there.
Yeah.
I will. That's the goal. The goal is actually have that be hundreds of millions of dollars a month, every month distributed. And when we set up Cardone Capital, my accountant said, look, everybody does this every quarter. They do their distributions every quarter. I said, no, we're going to do them every month. And I knew when I said I would do them every month, even though everybody said, nobody does, you don't need to. I said, no, we're going to do it every month because it's great promo for me. And it's great for the receiver. Most importantly, it's great for the receiver because they're like, I'm getting money every month. It creates a really sticky, trustworthy bond that Grant Cardone, regardless of what people say to me on the internet, they're like, I got a check again this month. And that has been an enormous rebuilder, if you will, to the brand. That I'm not just a get me guy for me. I'm not trying to get the bag. I'm actually giving back the bag. And look, I have no shame about getting the bag either. Like, I'm all for it. Everybody should get it, figure out how to get it, how to keep it, and then how do you multiply it and help other communities. So that's been a big Bill Brander. 10X Growth Conference, massive, doing these big events. That helped us. We're probably down to our last one or two. We may never do those again in the future. So we'll transition out of that at some point. So all you guys out there that want to do big events, I'm going to give it to you.
Yeah.
The success I had with sales programs, teaching people sales, like you listening to me and learning how to stay in a sale. And that was very beneficial, but I got stuck in that role. So all these things help. Me getting married help. Me having kids help.
Because it recreates yourself. They don't put you in a box.
The haters help, bro. The haters, you guys that hate on me, and I get a lot of it, man. I don't know. I somehow pull in more than the normal person. I've even had big celebrities tell me this. They're like, bro, you get it. And the haters out there that are watching this right now, they watch everything. They're
always lurking.
Dude, they love it.
Yeah.
You guys that promote me have done more for my business and my brand than anyone else. Okay. Now there is a point where the hater or the troll becomes destructive and he's actually trying to demean, defame,
that's different.
Damage a brand. That's when I'm going to go legal on you hard. Because now you're saying things about me that are false. Right. But the rest of you guys, you punks out there on the internet that want to troll on me, God bless you. Okay. Because you have helped my brand so much. Up until the point where you start talking about my kids, my family, my religion, or calling me something that I'm not, or you're saying something that's not true, that's when I'm going to come get you, because that's not a brand builder. That's you defaming a product or a brand.
Right. And people don't talk about people that are average. They're just projecting their own fears and insecurities.
They're quitters, bro. Every hater I've ever met was a quitter.
Well,
I've never met anybody that quit, that hated on another, that didn't quit before that, and now hates on that person for doing that.
Yeah. And it's interesting. You meet the most successful people in the world and they're so nice.
Yeah.
You could say, man, I just had this month. They said, man, I experienced that 100 times.
Yeah.
You just got to push it. You have something great. They're like, man, that's amazing.
You tell a guy worth 10 or $12 billion that you just scored $1 billion. He's going to be like, that's awesome, man. What are you going to do next? Yeah. You tell somebody that has never had anything, I did $1 billion. They're going to hate on you for some reason. There's this weird kind of like, if I don't have it, I have to not like it. And if I've done it, I'm like, yeah, do it again.
Yeah.
Like there's no hate on it. It's like, oh, wow.
And what's interesting is every time, one common trait that I've noticed in people just in the last 5-10 years where they really elevate is, you're a coffee drinker?
Yeah, but I'm no more today. Okay.
So, he's already wired up.
No. It's just, I need to back off. It actually doesn't do anything to me.
Because you're just too.
But I think I just had this cognition this weekend. I'm like, okay, I need to stop that much caffeine. I don't think it's good for my livers, my organs. It's probably has some adverse effect. Plus these beans, no telling how much toxins are in the beans.
Who knows?
Machinery, so.
Who knows? But one thing I've seen is that people who went from nothing to success that really were different is I noticed they have a humility about them in some way. That doesn't mean that they're full and confident, but I've noticed that they don't judge others' success with an evil eye or hesitant. They see it and they're just inspired by it. They're just good, genuine people, and it's rare.
Yeah.
But that's why it's less than 1% of the entire population.
Look, and I think also, in addition to the humility, is, and people are not going to call me a humble guy. They're like, because I'm not trying to pull the humility card all the time. Oh my God, man, I'm so grateful. I am, dude. I'm grateful for everything, but I also know I can do more. So I don't spend a lot of time in the I'm grateful and humble, because I'm like, I'm not really like, what am I being humble about? I don't think I've done anything. Yeah. Like that's how I think about it. Same, yeah. I don't think I've done anything of significance, even though other people might see the plane and say, oh, goddamn, you got your own plane, you showing off. I'm like, no, actually, I think I should have a fleet of planes, and this just happens to be the first one. I wish all my executives were flying in a plane. Like I haven't done anything. This happens to be one little pebble along the way. But in addition to the humility, these people that, and I know this is true about me, I grew up with a lot of scarcity. Just being raised in Lake Charles, Louisiana, bro. Right. And when you start scoring and then score a second time and a third time and a fourth time and a fifth time and a sixth time, and you're like, you just keep doing this, then you realize at some point, hey, there's no scarcity. So when you go out and get your brick, I'm like, dude, that's so cool, man.
It's amazing.
And it inspires me, because I'm like, if he can, I can. Right.
And that's what the best people think.
Yeah, and I think that that's true about the other people that I've met that have done many, many more times of any success I've done. They're like, man, you can do more than this.
It's crazy how contagious that energy is. I always joke. Have you been to Aspen before?
Yeah.
I joke when I tell people, I'm like, it's one of my favorite places. I'll land there and I'll just start getting good calls. Just good things will start happening, because the energy is contagious around the people that run the world.
Totally, dude.
And you have one little comment, hey, how you doing? Oh, how's your day? Yeah. And it just, it rubs off
prosperity,
on you.
man. It's possibility. Some of those people are screwed up, though.
Some, of course, of course. But that's the thing is you're around these really successful people. It changes everything.
Yeah.
When it comes to business, what is the best way to scale and grow your business? You wrote the 10X rule. You're the king of growth.
So look, you got to have a target first. You know, I know this simplifies everything and it sounds too simple, but most people are not even thinking about scaling. They're thinking about adding. They're not thinking about multiplication. And they're thinking about, okay, I need to add, some more revenue, or I need to buy a car, or I need to add a couple of employees. Scaling is like, no, I want to multiply things, right? I want to go, we're at 1,000 employees right now. I want to go to 10,000 employees. Because if I add 20, what did I change? Nothing changed. When you go from 10,000 to 10,020, it's like, and this is what I used to do incorrectly with money, right? I would do, let's say I did $1 million of revenue for a year. And then I'm like, okay, next year I'm going to do $1 million too. We work with thousands of companies, and they all have this budget. The budget is, okay, for 2024, last year we did X. Now we're going to do X plus 20%. That's not scaling. That's incremental addition. And it's done out of an intellect and a mechanical mind that's analytical. It's like, okay, we did this last year.
Because they can contextualize it.
Yeah. They're like, okay, so we got a big ding, and if we do that, and then we get that, and the economy's getting bad, and the government's doing this, so we really have to be 20%, so we have to add. I don't do any of that. I'm like, no, I did X, and I'm going to go 10X. Because now it gets me out of the thinking about my budget and the mechanics and this
small
and that.
Problems.
And the small problems, because all I'm going to do is repeat the activities of the year before. So what we do in our budget meetings is really a scaling exercise. We did this right after the growth conference where I had 30, what do we have? How many people were in that? 34,000 people. I thought 64,000. 34,000 people came to an event. At the end of the event, we're like, okay, how do we scale that 10 times? First answer was, well, there's no stadiums big enough for that. Okay. Even if there was, like, parking alone is going to take a day.
So it sounds like just changing the question.
No, it's like, how do I 10X the audience? And they're like, okay, well, we can't do a stadium. Okay, but how can we do it? You just keep asking, how could I 10X? What would I have to do to 10X? Well, we'd have to have a TV channel. Oh, yeah. Okay, good. Fox Business, man. Yeah. Like that. That would be more viewers than Fox Business has, okay? Yeah. So how do I become a Fox Business? How do I become, and then we just basically went online. This is pre-COVID. Yeah. Before everybody went online, we were going online in a big way. We were doing streaming events. That next year, we reached 1 million people on one event. So
that's the craziest thing about social media, because I've been on Fox Business.
Let me just say this, because the 10X takes you out of this incremental idea. It takes you out of the small problems and the addition, and I got to do this again and that again. It takes you to another place,
which is so easy to do as a business owner or a leader.
Yeah,
because you all you deal with is problems.
To get stuck in the little.
Yes,
yeah, exactly.
You deal with problems. You're like this. Oh, I got this.
Yeah.
I was just on the phone doing the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just part of running a business or having a brand.
Yeah.
It's interesting with social media because now you almost don't need Fox Business. I've been on Fox so many times, and I can post one reel with Grant Cardone, and it may have 1 million views.
Yeah. No, this will do you. This will do you more than those nobodies at Fox Business.
Yeah.
I was on Fox Business Thursday or Friday.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody even saw it.
People just
more people will see it on my Instagram than saw it on Fox Business,
which is crazy.
It's insane, dude.
And now it's anybody around the world can become well known, can grow, blow up their business, blow up their brand because they have social media.
Yeah,
and it changes everything. Okay? Let me ask you this. Let's kind of shift over to just like the current world right now, which is changing like crazy. You got AI, you got crypto that's blowing up, you got all these different things.
I know. I looked at it when I sat down.
I know, it's crazy.
Right.
So what is your prediction for America in the next 50 years? Everyone, it's either doomsday or
50 years.
50 years. So when your daughters, let's see, how old are your daughters?
I can't go out that far on America, man.
Okay, let's do 2025. 25 years.
20 years. It'll be 2044. Donald Trump will still be president of the United States. He has taken over the country. He's a dictator. He is the king. This is a great clip right here.
Yeah.
Donald Trump, it'll be Donald Sr., Donald Jr., Ivanka. The Trump dynasty will last for 20 years. Okay. No, what will America be like in 20 years? First of all, America is going to still be the greatest country on the planet. The U.S. dollar will still be in place. Bitcoin will probably be, I don't know, $2.5 million.
Probably.
A coin. The U.S. dollar will still be playing. You're not getting rid of that.
Because we have the U.S. military.
Yeah. The U.S. dollar is backed by the U.S. military.
Exactly.
Full faith of the U.S. military. Rents are going to be, I don't know, $7,000, $8,000 a month. You'll own nothing. You will. No one will own anything. There will be fewer and fewer people own everything. But we're probably in an full AI world. We're not doing this anymore.
What do you think that looks like?
Because this looks like me having a headset and you coming and living in my world as me.
Yeah.
But you, like full on avatar. You're a full avatar. You can pick Grant Cardone. You could be Barack Obama. You can go into my world and deal with all my bullshit every day. I could be a Navy SEAL and drop into an event, a mission, and people will go nowhere. They'll rent an apartment and you basically, there'll be AI. AI will be a job. You being in an AI game will be a job. That will be part of your job. You have to play prostitute. You'll be a great prostitute, by the way. Okay. And
what will you be?
Well, I will be you could be anything you want to be, dude. You could be anything you want to be. What would I like to be? Different thing. But I don't want to be a prostitute.
Yeah, I would hope not. Well, maybe. You gotta do what you like, man.
Well, whatever you're good at, Grant,
I think AI, a lot of people are like, man, it's going to take all these jobs away. The one thing, I saw this video and they were interviewing.
I don't think so. I think it will take jobs away, but I think it's going to create a whole bunch of jobs nobody's even
I think it's going to create leverage like the internet, because they said the same thing I saw this interview. They're interviewing all these people in, I don't know, it was like the 60s or 70s. And they're like, what do you think is going to happen when they make the computer?
Yeah.
And they have the internet. There'll be no jobs. We won't do this. We won't do that.
Yeah.
But if you think about the internet created scale.
Yeah.
This following, this brand, this everything. We would have had to do billboards, we would do all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Now it's like 2 years, someone can blow up. And so
if they created a bunch of new products, okay, all of a sudden these came around, the arms came around,
right?
The video cameras came around. People weren't doing all this. It
was never
lights. Now you got lights. So AI will create the same thing, right? And then there could be AI players, right? Because I still want to deal with real people. Like when I'm not online, who are you?
I think people always like that.
Still want that relationship.
Sure. Yeah, of course. And what drives you to really, really, because you've done a lot of success, but like you said, it's like nothing to you.
Yeah.
So what makes you think that? Is because you're constantly looking at who's doing this that's, way bigger than you? What do you constantly think about and looking at every single day?
Look, I look at the same people you do, dude. Like, I'm looking for inspiration. I'm looking for, what could I do? Ken Griffin moves down here. He's worth $58 billion. I don't know if he's happy. The only way for me to measure him is his company, his business, his acquisitions, his mistakes, his successes. I have no other way to measure Ken, I'm not hanging out with him. So, he moved from Chicago down here, brought all of his employees down here. He's buying that building over there. Looks like he's going to own the Miami Dolphins. Like, by the way, that's happening. You can use it for your clip on Instagram.
Yeah.
Ken Griffin will own the Miami Dolphins.
Probably. And he'll overpay.
Huh?
And he'll overpay.
And there's another deal going on, but behind the scenes. But
okay.
Ken Griffin inspires me. Like that's crazy. I'm clearly inspiring other people, because yesterday I saw Marcus and Millichap open up a $5,000 investor fund for their real estate division. So me doing that is inspiring massive organizations. I know big giant institutions are going after that retail investor. I don't think they're going to be as successful at it as we have been, because there's no spokesman, there's no real trust. So, when you see somebody do something, Elon endlessly
crazy
encourages me. And I'm not a tech guy. I'm not on that genius level that he lives at. He's a marketing monster. Okay.
Incredible.
The guy's a marketing genius. So when he comes out with his the fire gun, I'm like, shit, that's something I would do. I would do that bullshit. Okay. Yeah. And why he did it, I'm not sure exactly why he did it, but one, he sold some, he got some cash from it. The guy's a beast,
insane.
Dana White.
He's insane.
He gets to be, Dana is who Dana is all the time, straight up authentic. By the way, authentic is becoming a popular thing now. I've been doing this authentic, transparent. No, I'm not going to change or convert to be somebody else. Here's who I am. I'm not going to say it right. And that thing is becoming popular. Elon did it with Go Fuck Me. Dana's like, yeah, like I'm going to do what I want. Drop the sponsors. And Trump did it, maybe to some degree successfully, to some degree not. But
I think
20 years from now, last thing I'll say, 20 years from now, I'm going to tell you that if this country fails, it will be because of
itself.
Too few people didn't stand up and say, fucking stop the madness.
Well, you can see it turning because during COVID, it got scary to me. Yeah. It was the first time I've ever like, man, should I live somewhere else? Because of how fast the censorship, the control.
Yeah.
I mean, they were this close. If it wasn't for a judge in Florida striking down law, every company over 500 employees would have had to get, you know what I mean? So but you can see the last 3-4 years we're punching back and people are like, I'm sick
but not
of this.
enough. This will be the failure of America. It will not be the government. It will be because people like me didn't stand up and say, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop with your bullshit. Stop with your, stop pressing your agendas hard on me. And if you're going to press those on me, I want my own agendas. Yeah. Like we need to start, the conservative people in this country need to start screaming for Family Month. I want Family Month. Right. Okay. I want Married Couple Month. Okay. I want Straight Month. I want my own months, man. Okay. I want Success Month. Why can't we have a Success Month? And by the way, you could add a Failure Month. Everybody that fails in this country, boom, we got a month. We're going to have fucking parades and all you guys get to walk in the parade and get your little mask and that you failed. But I want Success Month. Yeah. Maybe the 1% Club. That maybe the 1% actually get a month because they're inspirational to a lot of people.
Oh, it's weird how everything's switched because now they're punishing success. Success used to be everything in America. And it's interesting. I was just in Dubai about 2 weeks ago, and I met someone from Instagram that's building these massive skyscrapers there. Just unbelievable. He did a collaboration with Mercedes. Mercedes has never done a residence. He's doing a collaboration.
Wow.
The event had to cost over $20 million.
Wow.
It was the most incredible. Have you ever been in a moment or experience that just completely humbled you?
Oh yeah, dude.
You're like, what the hell am I doing in my life?
Right.
It was like, there was drones flying of a brand new Mercedes car, and then it would shift and it would do the old one, and then it would fly over. Then it shaped like the building.
Wow.
They got unbelievable. Wow. And when you see
possibility,
it's incredible.
Inspiration, man.
But the thing is Dubai felt like what I presume would be the old America because there's not all this regulation. It's like, you're great, you're talented, you can be a resident here, you can make it happen.
Yeah.
And they get out of the way and they support success. Yeah. So it's weird seeing America change that. Yeah. And do you think it's the media? Do you think it's just a group of people? Do you think it's someone in a dark room? Like, what do you think has shifted that over the last 20 years?
Well, what I think is that, you have a country with, we have a president that only has 4 years. Over there, you got a king. Mm-hmm. As long as the king's good, he'll make good decisions and it'll be good for everybody.
But if he's a bad one, it doesn't work.
Yeah, but look at Singapore. Singapore's fucking clean. No graffiti, no bullshit. You're not going to walk on gum. You're not going to see graffiti you're not going to have druggies. You're not going to have a drug dealer selling heroin there, bro. They execute you. You're there with heroin over I don't know what the number is, some number of grams. Fucking execution same day, no bullshit. Yeah. So this country that we have today where 8 million people can come across a border illegally and be given sanctuary. Mm-hmm. Credit cards, housing, medical care, fucking schooling. This is fucking ridiculous. Yeah. Okay. What we ought to do is the people that are here that are getting educated from other countries and going to schools, they should be given visas immediately when they graduate so we don't export them again.
We need to I think we need pro-legal immigration, the most talented people in the world.
100% fucking.
That's what made America.
You got money, deposit fucking $1 million in this country and you get to live here the same day.
Yes.
Okay. You want to buy a residence here?
And that's what Dubai's doing.
Fuck yeah, man. Why not?
Because they want the best people.
Exactly. So now Dubai, the limitation on Dubai is, one, is fucking hot, dude. Okay. Number two, they're going to build, Saudi Arabia will do it. The entire Middle East is going to do what Dubai did. That will become a competition of massive current cities. But this country, if I was the president of the United States, I would stop all wars. I would announce it publicly. We will not be involved in a war for the next fucking 12 years. Mm-hmm. You guys want to kill each other across the planet? Fucking go for it. Carte blanche, go get it. And everything we're going to do is right here in America. They would stop all the bullshit because they would be concerned about being left behind. And we would rebuild this country, take all our resources, tax the fuck out of people to build a country that cannot be duplicated anywhere on the planet, and make it a premium to live here, be here.
The best place in the world.
And make sure that the people that live here contribute, produce, and they're grateful that they are here and they treat it in that way.
The one thing I'll say about Americans is, and you see this every time we go through something. Yes, there's some weak ones and the loud voices that are, the weirdos or whatever, but there's some badasses here. And the one thing I'll say about America is
in a good way, you mean?
In a good way.
Yeah.
No, I think if we just get the fuck out of these people's way and let them go build.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing, because it was interesting when Trump was first in office, he had all his meetings with all these executives and he kept talking about taxes. And they said, well, taxes, we're not really worried about that. Regulation's the issue.
Yeah, that's right.
Because I want to go buy a building, I want to go build a business. I can't even do it. It takes me 3 years.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And so I think if they just focus on the damn basics, like crime, drugs, people coming over illegally that are trafficking people and doing all these crazy things, you get the hell out of these people's way and you let them build successful businesses, America will build it. They'll innovate it.
Yeah, 100%, dude.
It's just
I mean,
wild.
look at, 80% of all the great companies on planet Earth come from this country.
It's incredible.
So, we got a head start on everybody. China's not a threat to us. Russia's not a threat to us.
You see how China's economy has just completely degraded because they did the one thing you never do. They started going at Jack Ma, disappeared off planet Earth.
Yep.
Never seen that guy in the last 5 years. He was their Elon Musk.
Yeah.
I've never seen him in 5 years.
Yeah.
And so now all the money is going to India and Mexico and all these other places. It's just crazy to see.
Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, you've met Trump, right? You interviewed him, right? Do you think he's going to win?
Yeah, 100% I do. Not 100%, but I want it to be 100%.
It was weird because
he needs to win. I'm surprised they haven't fucking killed him. I mean, it shocks me that somebody hadn't tapped the guy out because he's that big a threat. And this isn't even about Joe Biden. It's about this is how I voted Democrat almost my first 30 years of my life.
Really?
Yeah.
When did you?
Because that's where I came from. I came from a family that was, basically indoctrinated on, we don't have a chance. It was a different Democratic Party back then too. It was like for the little guy.
Even Obama feels like a Republican compared to the Democrat Party now.
Yeah.
It's gone so far left that it's not help the small guy and that's it.
Yeah. Look, I'm really not that political. I don't care. To me, Democrat, Republican, 20 years from now, if I'm still around, I'm still going to be making money.
Regardless.
I'm still going to be taking care of my family. I'm still going to figure a solution. You can drop me off in Dubai, Panama City, Panama. You can drop me off in fucking Australia. I'm going to win. I know. You can put me in Pueblo, Colorado. It's a blue state. I'm going to fucking build a $5 million business in 90 days. I'll never use my name. I don't have any money. It doesn't matter to me. It could be during COVID. I don't care. But this place is great, man. When you go to other countries, you get back here and you're like, this is pretty cool.
This is pretty nice.
And Dubai's cool. But I don't know a lot of people that keep going back to Dubai.
It's kind of like a part-time thing.
Yeah. How many times you been there?
Twice.
Okay. Like I went there once. It's cool, but it's hot.
It's hot. I feel like it's a lot of the Europeans, Russians, they
a lot
park
of Russians.
money there.
I mean, Dubai exploded with the sanctions put on Russia.
Exploded. I talked to some real estate agents. You learn so much about what people are doing with their money. And they said, my favorite people to do business with are the people that got $100 million and got to get rid of it in a week.
They're being sanctioned.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but that's not real. That's a created
facade.
Synthetic. It won't last long periods of time. So
no, exactly. How do you deal with, because running a business, you talked about the haters, talk about this. I don't want to give the haters all the attention, but when you're running a business, it takes real challenges, real things that you go with. How do you push past those? And how do you scale at a level? Like, for example, where do you want to be at in the next 5 years, business-wise?
In the next 5 years, we're doing, revenue-wise, we're about $750 million a year, maybe slightly under that. I see a day where we're doing $1 billion a year in revenue easily. For a privately held company, that's a lot of money, dude. Profitably. Now, we're not $1 billion of revenue and losing $2 billion like most of these
big companies do. These startups do. We're $1 billion and profitable at a 40 or 45% margin
which I probably need to rethink that and pull that back down some. Two would probably, at some point go public, and either go public with the existing exchanges or have a private offering. Cardone Capital will be at some point in the future, it'll be a $50 billion assets under management. That's our target right now. Mm-hmm. And in the future, in the 20 years that you talk about, be the largest property owner in America.
That would be crazy.
But do it and benefit regular everyday families, not the institutions and pension funds. That's the way most of the real estate game is played. It's kind of held for the country club money, right, and the top, the wealthiest families. So we want to really share that with all of America, particularly the people that need it the most. Mm-hmm. So that's the goal. The goal is to have 10,000 employees and be in multiple states. Right now, with this New York ruling, there's places that we now can't and won't go to. I guess we could, but we're not.
It would be down to.
So now I'm like, shit, I don't want to go to New York. I don't want to go to New Jersey. New Jersey's raising taxes again. I'm not going to go to Colorado. It's a coin flip. Yeah. It's changed completely.
I don't know if it's coin flip anymore.
Yeah. San Francisco, you can't go to right now. At some point, these cities are going to become massive from a real estate standpoint, are going to become like massive sales. Los Angeles, you can't go to right now, but these are all beautiful places in the country.
Beautiful.
And I mean, if I could buy the Plaza Hotel in New York one day, that'd be awesome, bro.
That'd be cool. That's a trophy asset.
Yeah.
That's big time. Do you think, for me, so I've always scaled, self-funded, everything like that. I want to eventually shift to something. I want to get in a bigger game.
Yeah.
Do you think that the best way to do that is raising tons and tons of money, going out and buying companies, doing something like that and getting other people's capital involved? Do you think it's just getting so big that eventually you do it?
Yeah. I mean, look, you can't keep doing everything on your own money.
Yeah.
You just can't. You don't have enough money, no matter who you are, right? So nobody does that. The richest guys in the world don't just keep using their own money. And I was at a fundraiser recently, and the lady that we were raising money for, she's like, if I was a billionaire, she's running for office. She's like, if I was a billionaire, I wouldn't raise money. I said, oh yeah, you would. You just raise it faster and easier, and you would raise it with zero regret. Okay. And because you have to, man, you can't, no matter how much money you have, you still need access to the capital markets, whether it's debt or equity.
You got to have the liquidity. You got to get it from somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you need liquidity. You need access to debt, to capital, in order to hire people, to have equipment, to buy properties, to make whatever your expansion is. It takes money and resources. Mm-hmm. And so AI is not going to be like, I'm going to click a button and all of a sudden it expands my company and it didn't cost me anything. It cost me $20 a month. Like AI is not going to be a solution for that. Mm-hmm. And if it is, well, then what does that mean? I mean, I don't even understand it. It means everything will become super, super expensive because everybody would have unbelievable amounts of money. Yeah. You'd put it in the AI machine. I want to be a billionaire. Bang, it's going to figure out a program and make you a billionaire. I don't think that's real. So, what I would tell you to do is, number one, do not take money from people, bro, if you don't understand money. And most people do not understand money.
Okay.
So when you take money in, money comes in and it needs to stay in one bucket. Okay, and you cannot live or touch that. That bucket needs to be sacred. We've raised $1.2 billion. I can account for every single penny of that $1.2 billion. Mm-hmm. Every penny, I didn't touch any of it. None of my people touch it. It is sacred. And that money then moves into that investment event. I know a group, you probably know who it is. A couple years ago, they went on this buying binge of buying bankrupt companies. They took a bunch of money in. They didn't manage it correctly. Fucking the whole thing bust. You don't want to do that. Now, if you're gonna go with your friends, family, if you're gonna go public and crowd fund, you need to be super careful. If you're gonna go the New York way, the Silicon Valley way, dude, they rip people off every day. They just raise a bunch of money, put it in an ETF, Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan or somebody, gives a sign of the cross and says, this thing's good. And the thing busts out, no big deal. They'll do that 150 times in the next 2 or 3 years. But if you're going to do it yourself, dude, you need to be like super, super, not careful, but ethical.
As tight as you can possibly
be. And if you're ethical, then you don't need to be careful.
Do you think that, like, for example, with your Cardone Capital, you partnered with, you partner with someone, correct? or is it just you?
Do I partner with someone?
Like on the card or on your Cardone Capital deal? Like, did you have a partner?
So if this is the 10X building and we go buy it, it wouldn't be 10X yet, right? But it would be a building. We'd buy the building. I'd buy it, fund it, close it, and then offer it to my audience.
No, I know that. So, I'm saying like a partner in the business, not the assets. Like, was it just you, like you, Elena, like you guys, or did you have a partner? Like,
no, the beginning phases was, hey, I call my brother. Mm-hmm. Hey, bro, you want to put some money in this deal? Or I tell my brother I'm doing a deal. He's like, how much you putting in at 15 million? He's like, can I take $1 million of that? He just invested with me because he didn't have the time or energy to do it. He knows I'm a legit dude. He knows I'm very, very conservative. And he's like, fuck, if you're putting 15 in, he just wanted some of the money. It's a greedy bastard. Okay. Mm-hmm. So he's like, I know if this is a good deal for you, I want some of it. And then my sister got on board and she's like, I'll give you some money. And then Jared works with me. He's like, can I put some money in that deal? This was the second deal we did. Mm-hmm. I said, sure. He's like, what are you putting in it? I said, it's a $5 million building. I'm putting, I think it was $1 million. He's like, can I put $100,000 in? And that's what started it. And then they started telling me, dude, you should do this for other people. They started telling people. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want investors. Probably the same way you grew up. I don't want partners. This is what I was told when I was growing up. Don't have partners. They're going to screw you. Don't even recommend somebody to work at the place you're working at. They're going to take your job from you. Mm. Okay. There's Jared right there. And then one day, Ryan and my wife came to me, Ryan Secco, who's the vice president at Cardone Capital, said, we need to open this up to the public. I'm like, bro, I don't think so. That's a bad idea. And they're like, why would it be a bad idea? If they get distributions the way you get distributions, Grant, in the last 7 years, how good would it have been for people? And that's what sold me right there. I'm like, God damn, they'd get checks every month. They'd get the appreciation. They'd get the depreciation. I said, as long as we give them the same deal I gave my brother, this is exactly how we made the deal on Cardone Capital. Mm-hmm. We created the entire legal document with our partners based on one thing. Take the deal I did with my brother, duplicate it, do not move one period or one comma. Nothing changes, and give that same deal to the public. If we can make that work, I'll do it. Because I wanted to be able to tell people, you get the same deal as my brother.
Yeah.
Or my daughter.
Love that.
And that's what we did.
Love that.
So they are partners in that asset. And they get the distributions, they get the tax write-offs. Like we sent 8,000 K1s out yesterday or something.
Crazy.
So people can get depreciation.
Crazy. I love that. So last question is, if you're Grant Cardone and you're 25 years old, and you're starting from scratch, what do you do differently to increase the rate of success?
Well, it wouldn't be fair, man, because I know what I know now, right? So I can't start over again. I hope that when I come back, that I come back with the data that I have right now, because now I know how to avoid the potholes. Like 90% of success is just showing up. The next 9% is like just avoid freaking failure. Just avoid potholes, dude. Just avoid picking the wrong people. Now I'm 99%. I got like a 99% chance of showing up. If I can avoid the potholes, there's only a 1% chance I fail now. So I go into the deal at 25 years old with massive confidence. I now know I don't need money. I do not need a name. I don't need fame. I don't even need this. I don't need social media. Okay. People, they're, just a little thing. Most people are putting too much emphasis on the social media thing. It's not actually necessary for success. The fastest way to success is to, boom, have a big target and then meet people that can support your target. And don't spend any time with people that cannot support your target. Literally zero. I'm talking about friends, family. You have to be more selective about the people that you're with. Spend more time with people that can assist you in your target. It's very almost greedy driven. Like for some short period of time from 25 to 35, I'm going to focus on a big target. I'm only going to spend time with people that can assist me in the attainment of that target. I spend no time with anybody else. It requires a lot of discipline to do this. And I'm not going to stop until I get it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it, man. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, Grant.
Hope you guys, Grant squared, man. I love it. Well, thank you guys, and hope to see you guys for episode 74. Thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate you.